Good morning. It is Sunday, November 6th in the NBA, and I'm back with my favorite picks. My name's Austin from Calling Our Shot, and let's recap yesterday, although I wish I didn't have to, but we do it because we're always transparent. Yesterday was honestly our first bad day in the NBA, an 0-3 day. We've probably only had 4, maybe 5 losing days in the NBA up until this point. Our best bet of the day, Nicholas Claxton's over in points plus rebounds. Gets called for like 3 or 4 offensive fouls. Don't know how often the guy gets called for that many, but obviously he ends with 20. Does not get it done. They end up going small towards the end of the game. Jason Tatum didn't need to do all too much as Jaylen Brown was cooking. And Josh Giddey, he had his chances. It was a blowout. He didn't play any of the last 8 minutes of the game. He only needed 4 more PRAs. But either way, the best bet segment moves to 15-3. I mean, we've been crushing the sports because you can see our numbers on the right side of the screen. I don't need to prove that to you guys. I know you guys trust me with the picks that I give out on the channel, but look, it's a day that may be a little bit of overcorrecting. We've been so hot to start the year, and it's going to happen. But I have to put an important note on the screen. Don't try to win everything back today. That's not how you win money long-term sports betting. And I know I have a big platform, but I always want to preach bankroll management. Look, we're going to have great days, a lot more great days than bad days, but the bad days are going to be in there. And honestly, you learn a lot more on those bad days about yourself than you do on all the winning days. So don't try to win it all back today. We only have 4 games today. I'll only have 1 pick, and it's not even a best bet. And then we'll obviously and even tomorrow, we have 30 games on tomorrow. So we'll see what we like tomorrow, but we don't need to, we have so many more. What is the last day of the NBA season? Like July 15th? We have so many more days to bet the NBA. It's irresponsible to try to win everything all back in just one day. So we're just going to only play 1 play today. We're back again on Monday. We'll definitely have more plays then. And then Tuesday, we actually have the day off. So you can do whatever you want on Tuesday. I believe the NBA has it off for voting for election day. But either way, if you're new, hit that subscribe and we certainly would appreciate it. And since it's Sunday, we do have our NFL videos live, our best bets, our spread, over under, team total. That video is already live on the channel. And yesterday morning, we posted our favorite parlays and player props. We had 5 player props that I really do like on Sunday in the NFL. Go check out both those videos. They'll be both linked at the top of the description. Without further ado, the best bet segment will get Sunday off because 1, sportsbooks are sleeping in, and 2, I don't really want to force a 1.5 unit play on any of these games because they all got to play tomorrow. So my only play of the day will be a guy by the name of Steven Adams, and I'm taking this under. Yes, you heard that right. Under 6.5 points, minus 115 on points bet. I believe FanDuel has this line at like minus 118, minus 120. DraftKings yet to post the line. I don't envision this line changing at all. If you have it on Underdog Fantasy, it's actually at 7.5. I don't think that matters a big lot. I mean, I don't think Steven Adams, not a guy that normally shoots a lot of 3-pointers or free throws, so if he ends on 7 on the hook, then whatever. But let's talk about Steven Adams and why I like his under today, as the Grizzlies are at home taking on the Wizards. Now, I think Adams has a little bit of overcorrecting to do himself, as he's had 2 great games, obviously crushing this line with 14 and 13 points. I don't know if that continues today as they take on the Wizards, who will be without Bradley Beal, and who will also likely be Steven Adams guarding Kristaps Porzingis, since I'm wearing my Kristaps shirt, because we need Kristaps to show up today. And how does Steven Adams score? If you've never watched him, he obviously plays for the Grizzlies, and if I didn't mention, we're only putting 1 unit on this, but he scores mostly offensive rebound tip-ins and just scoring in the paint. Now, the Wizards are pretty good at not allowing those 2 things. They allow the 4th fewest offensive rebounds in the NBA, and they also allow the 3rd fewest points in the paint. So exactly the recipe for stopping a guy like Steven Adams is to keep him off the glass and make him play defense. And ultimately, Adams still under the 6.5 points in 5 of 9 games. If you look at his game log, he had 2 games where he easily hit the over. I think he scored 9 and 12 points earlier this season. The next game, he hit him with 2 points. Just like the last 2 games, he scored 13 and 14 points. What does he do in that 3rd game? I think he goes under, not only in points, but also in rebounds. I just don't think this is a good matchup for him. I think people are just going to look up, say, oh, he's crushed these lines, like 18.5 points plus rebounds. Yeah, I'll hammer it. Then he hits you with like a 2 points, 4 rebounds showing. You're like, why did I bet on Steven Adams? Just like, this is how it works. But you look at the 4 teams he's gone over against: Hornets, Blazers, Kings, and Nets. None of those teams play an ounce of defense. So while I'm not saying the Wizards are the best defensive team in the league, without Bradley Beal, they're going to have to become that because they won't be able to score a whole lot of points, or they'll probably get blown out in this one. And Adams has struggled versus Kristaps his last 3 games against him. 5, 6, and 4 points, going under in all 3 games. And we've seen Adams struggle against big men that can not only move, but also shoot. We see him when he took it on the Jazz, when he had to guard either Lauri Markkanen or Kelly Olynyk. Saw him only have 2 points in each of those 2 games. 2 and 2 points. Saw him against the Mavs, who start JaVale McGee, but Christian Wood played like 25 minutes. Only saw him score 2 points in that one. So he struggles against versatile bigs, and with Bradley Beal out, Kristaps is going to be a large part of this offense. And if he's not the offense, they're going to be going to other guys like Kuzma's, Rui Hachimuras of the world. DeLon Wright's out, but guys like Will Barton, guys like Monte Morris and whatnot. And ultimately, you look at Adams' last 2 games, 9 and 10 field goal attempts. That's not sustainable. That's way above what he normally shoots. I think he maybe overcorrects and only attempts a couple shots today, and this isn't a good matchup for him. I think Kristaps can defend him in the paint. Kristaps is a very good rim protector, and I think Kristaps could foul him, and Steven Adams not known for being a good free throw shooter either. So I really do like this. The Grizzlies also play tomorrow. No need to run this old man into the ground. I mean, Steven Adams isn't the oldest guy in the league, but they're obviously monitor his minutes. There's games he only plays 19 minutes. He doesn't play in blowouts, things of that nature. So there's so many ways this one could go under. That's why I'm taking it as my only play of the day. It's not a best bet because I don't really like including best bets as, unders. I like to kind of include those more to overs, but look, we'll take it. My only bet of the day, Steven Adams under 6.5 points. We'll be back again on Monday for a lot more picks, but I do want to talk about the other games, and I want to at least highlight, and I don't blame the books for being slow on these because almost every single game has injury statuses, but we'll start in the Cavs-Lakers, and I'll just give out some leans. I don't recommend betting these, but I at least want to talk about the games because other people might be betting them, and I at least want to let you know where my head's at. Now, as for this Cavs-Lakers game, I lean Kevin Love's over in PRAs. I know Logan will like this one because he loves Kevin Love, no pun intended, but when I look at this game, we got Garland, we got Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Davis, all are questionable. I don't know how to make a video. 6:21 a.m. I can't really make a video, forecasting who's going to be in there or out there. And I'd only play Kevin Love's over in PRAs if you see Garland and Mitchell out. They're going to need playmakers. Kevin Love's a great playmaker. Almost had a triple-double in their last game. Plus, he's taking on LeBron. Obviously an old teammate. They're very good friends off the court. So I think Kevin Love has a pretty good day today, but we'll see. Obviously, I'm not going to add a play, but it's something to monitor. Now, as for the second game, Bulls-Raptors, I lean DeMar DeRozan's over in points solely because it's a return to Toronto, and DeMar DeRozan coming off 46 points. I think he normally plays well in Toronto. And if I were to guess, Zach LaVine sometimes plays back-to-back, sometimes doesn't, sometimes you don't know. That's the question mark here. You don't know with Zach LaVine what he's going to do, but I think DeMar DeRozan, regardless, plays pretty well. It's in Toronto. He normally plays well there, and obviously he's from, he obviously played Toronto for the first, 9 years of his career, so it's got a soft spot for him. So I think DeMar DeRozan has a pretty good day, but we'll see what happens with the Bulls and their injury statuses. Same for the Raptors. I can't suggest a Raptors prop when I don't know the status of Fred VanVleet or Pascal Siakam. So I can't really touch a lot there. And that's for the last game, Jazz Clippers. If I had to bet a spread today, I lean the Clippers -4, and I also lean Lauri Markkanen, that is under 20.5 points. I think Lauri Markkanen's a guy that's very hot or cold, and last game he scored 27 points, so I normally would want to fade him the next day. Markkanen, give him props where props is, credit where credit's due. I mean, the guy's been really, really good this year. I think averaging 22 points per game. But I think if there's a team that can defend him, be a team like the Clippers. They got a lot of guys that can rotate out and guard him, like Robert Covington's, the Marcus Morrises of the world. He's not going to be guarded by a slow center like Zubac. He won't be guarded by him. So I think they can actually slow down Markkanen. I think the way to beat the Clippers is through your guard play, whether that's Jordan Clarkson or Mike Conley. So I lean Lauri Markkanen's under in points. I think the Clippers won 3 straight games. I don't think the Jazz are as good on the road. The Jazz have been a great story. I love watching the Jazz play. This is a team that is playing with a lot of, oomph, a lot of team chemistry, even though they got a lot of new guys, very similar to, I talked about on the podcast, very similar to a team like the Cavaliers, who played really well last year, didn't have a lot of star power, and then slowly you start to see Darius Garlands of the world and things of that nature. And it's funny enough, this Cavs team has very similar players to that year with Colin Sexton and Lauri Markkanen. So ultimately, I think the Clippers do win this one, but I'm not going to bet any of these. I don't advise you betting any of them because they're just leans. We don't need to force a lot of plays. We got 15 games on tomorrow. We got a lot more picks to make tomorrow, and with all these injuries in question, I'd rather not force any plays. My only play of the day, like I said, will be Steven Adams under 6.5 points. Hopefully we can go 1-0, be back tomorrow and recap that. Now, as always, it's time to shout out some COS All-Stars. I appreciate you guys always for supporting the channel. Don't know how many of these we have. I think 1,300, which is ridiculous. Let's butcher some names. As always, we're going Nuri, we got Samuel, we got Jared, we got Corey, Tawanda, Oyel, Alexis, Ahan. Ahan's the man. Appreciate you. Eric, JR, Ivan, Shaf, butchered that. Frosty Steez, Adrian, Ragavan, Anthony, Kirby, Gugza, C, Fear, Zacchaeus, Glenn, Doobie, 69, Pringle, 69, that's an interesting name, Deuce the Devil Dog, Chris, Miles, So, Matthew, Jarny, Jarius, Michael, Pigson, Hummers, Jathan, Vay, SRT, Kobe, Daryl, Megan, hopefully, Kodiak, Coco, Jamie, Jared, CG Bach, Eye Candy, Gabriel, Ty, Michael, Marco, Lancinator, Paxton, Lawrence, Sahil, Tuet, Ben, Aaron, Alex, Abelardo, and MP. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys all so much for the support. I know it's not the ideal video. We only have one play, but you got a couple other videos. I got a lot more plays for Sunday, so go check out these NFL videos. They're popping up on the screen. Go check them out. I have a lot more fun in the NFL videos, but also NBA. We're going to crush it today, crush it tomorrow, crush it the rest of the season. Don't force a lot of bets today. I'm Austin, and I'm signing out. See you guys back in tomorrow. Peace.